Hey folks, Stephanie here. I want to start off by saying thank you so much for coming to watch my video. I would love it, of course, if you would comment, like, and subscribe to my channel to see any updates that are coming. Otherwise, if you're looking for a full bullet journal flip through, you have come to the right place. So this is my very first successful bullet journal. I did try one, I think back in 2015. It didn't really work out for me, but this is my 2018 bullet journal. And it's not a like term, it's not anything fancy. I found it in the bargain bin at AC Moore like a million years ago. And you can see when I first started, my lettering is pretty basic. I was just learning how to do stuff. There is a lot of washi tape, a lot of stickers, and that's really good for anybody who's just starting out. But remember, the only things you really need for a bullet journal are going to be a notebook and a pen. The index is something I didn't end up using as much as I thought that I would. And I personally ended up just kind of, skipping it and moving on to other stuff. My monthly bills and services page, this I'm actually really, really proud of. I covered up all the actual money for my bills from that year because it's none of your business. But it was really, really easy to keep track of stuff. The shopping list square, that is for Post-its, and my really primitive attempts at hand lettering. But I started at the end of January, beginning of February 2018. My first few habit trackers, I just colored in kind of like a rainbow pattern. I have tried weekly logs a few times. I've got them down now, what works for me. Sometimes I take notes in here. I have a little pen tester. But as you start, it kind of gets a little overwhelming where you want to make it as cool as everything that you've seen online. I have all these collections pages because that was something I thought was really awesome and really cool in other people's bullet journals that I never really ended up using for myself. These are lettering ideas I got from Amanda Rach Lee. She's a really great and really popular YouTuber here, and she does bullet journals and all sorts of other stuff. I have a lot of cool stuff that I have gotten ideas from her, and boho berry is another one I like. But weekly logs were something that just weren't practical for me at the beginning. I really liked doing the little mini calendar and the habit tracker. That was something that was crucial for me. But I also like to draw and I journal a lot. You'll see I'm just going to flip through the journal pages pretty quickly because those are just, my diary. I don't think you really want to read it. But there's a lot of just doodles and all sorts of stuff. And it's all kind of evolved a lot over time. I've liked my bullet journal a lot because it's helped me not just increase my productivity, but really give myself credit for the work that I've done. Looking through my old one, wow, I have improved so much in just my handwriting, my hand lettering. My bullet journal in general looks so much better now. But it's really awesome to have this physical and visible evidence of progress over time. This is the level 10 life. I'll have to look up who originally came up with that, but I actually got it from Boho Berry, which is another YouTube page that I'm a huge fan of. Boho Berry was probably my biggest inspiration when I first started my bullet journal. She's really, really terrific. Check her out. It's a way of just kind of self-evaluating where you are and giving yourself a grade on a scale of 1 to 10 in certain aspects of your life and writing down what you want to aspire to do in those areas, how you think you can improve and feel better. I have a lot of notes from my podcast when I first started it. It's Dead Time Stories with a Z on the end, and I co-host that with Sarah Heddens. New episodes come out every Thursday at midnight. Here you'll see where I really, really began to work on my hand lettering. I was practicing with Crayola Super Tips, and this is where I started to really nail down the thin little upstrokes and the thick downstrokes. That's the key to doing really, really cool hand lettering. Here's where I really started to develop the format for how I write the date in my journals. I like to write the day of the week in a pretty color, usually a mild liner. I'll write the date over it in cursive, written out fully, and then the tarot card of the day I do in a sparkly gel pen, and I'll kind of write out what it means in other pens. May is probably the month I was the most proud of in this bullet journal. I did some watercolor splatter, I had the lunar cycles on there, I was really, really into it, and the habit tracker is insane. So it's this full spread, as you can see, and I was tracking all sorts of stuff. It was the first time I was tracking my mood, and I tracked how I felt physically as well. I had a really bad sciatica flare-up towards the end of the month, ruined my day. Here's that RuPaul quote again, and it's probably not the last time you'll see it either. I've seen it already 3 or 4 times. I wasn't counting. In May, I also wrote affirmations that I would read out loud every day to myself. That felt really cool. And I made myself this collage with old clippings. I used to make collages a lot when I was younger, but it's more of like a visualization board. And this is how my basic journal looks kind of nowadays. Except for I tend to take my notes for my podcast in a different notebook. But I still love to write in all sorts of different colors and do this hand lettering and write over it. I love writing in layers like this. I love doing fades with my hand lettering like that. But my sister, I remember she saw my journal and she was like, I can't understand how you can write over those layers. How can you read it? It would just give me a headache. But I kind of love it. I just think it looks really, really cool. I like layering the letters, either with like a cool quote that I like, or sometimes I just put the definition of a word. Coming up at the end of May and going into June, I was in Hedwig and the Angry Inch, the 20th anniversary production with Mimi I'm First here in Philadelphia. It was a really great experience, but I did a whole Hedwig themed calendar. And then I tried to do the same really cool, ambitious habit tracker I did in May, but I just was way too busy to keep up with it. And as you see, I left myself a little note that was like, hey girl, it's okay. Like, you don't always have time to get crazy with your bujo. I love this washi tape. Oh, so much of my washi tape is from Target, but I get it all over the place. This was my favorite little calendar kind of habit tracker that I did, and I did a bunch of those. I kind of stuck with those for a while. Now I actually have a calendar stamp, and it is life-changing because I hated drawing those little calendars over and over again. Sometimes it can be therapeutic, sometimes it is tedious and upsetting, but as you can see, time goes on and I get a little neater. I kind of get more comfortable with my style. I love to throw in the washi tape. I get way more into stickers. I've gotten so into stickers, you guys. My current bullet journal is just absolutely covered and filled with them. But I love to do this lettering and then writing over top of it, washi tape. I tried different kinds of styles here. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not as comfortable with them as I am with the traditional just cursive hand lettering. But you can see, obviously, I love washi tape. My friend Christina, who I don't know if she's on YouTube. If she is, I'm going to find out. But she's definitely on Instagram. And she has an incredible bujo. She definitely inspired me to do some. But I like her little spread that she has for her little washi tape samples. It's like little hangers that they're hanging on. Oh, so cute. I tried to do this circular habit tracker for August. It was not my thing. I could not keep up with it. I didn't like how it looked. I was just not happy with it. I moved on with my life, I guess. There's a whole bullet journal system, and I don't quite stick to it, but it was invented, I guess, by Ryder Carroll, and he has a book called The Bullet Journal Method, and you can customize it, you can do whatever you want, but it's actually really simple, and it's really, really excellent. This is just kind of my personal take on it. A huge thing for me with the bullet journal that has been so, so good is not just productivity and holding myself accountable, but it takes away a lot of this feeling I have for myself, I guess, as an artist and just as a person in general. I tend to tell myself I'm not doing enough. And with a standard planner, what tends to happen if there are days and weeks that I don't use it, and those are dated, right? I'll come back to it and I feel like there's all this wasted space, all this wasted time. It really makes me feel like I'm not doing enough with my time. With a bullet journal, I can just pick up exactly where I left off, and I don't feel like I've missed anything. I don't feel like, wow, I wasted all this time. I just look at it and I think, wow, look at all the progress that I have made. Look at all these plans that I had that I carried out. Look at all these things I learned how to do. I feel like I am constantly evolving, and I have made my own little piece of artwork that's also this really, really vital tool in my life. When I say it's life-changing, like, I'm not even exaggerating. It has really, really changed my life. I feel like I get so much more done, and I feel like I don't beat myself up when I'm not doing stuff, because it doesn't really look like this block of time where I wasn't doing anything. But even my journaling, I've gotten really into, and I feel like I try to make that really artistic and really, really pretty. November is the last month in this bullet journal before I moved into my new one, so we're definitely getting to the end of the book. I just want to take this time to thank you one more time for coming in and watching my videos. I really, really appreciate it, and I hope that you enjoyed what you saw here. If you are inspired, by all means, let me know. Show me what kind of stuff you're going to do with your bullet journal. Let me know other people that you follow that you like what they do. Leave comments below, like the video, subscribe. I would really, really, really appreciate it. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this bullet journal flip through. This is the end. I'm trying to show off my nails. They look really cool. They're holographic, but you can't really tell. Anyway, like, subscribe, comment. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, folks.